Yay!
Bye.
If we cut out, it's my terrible Wi-Fi.
We're live.
Mr. Worldwide.
I don't think anyone's here yet, so we can just hang.
Nobody's
Okay,
here.
we can hang out. How's everyone been? What have you been doing?
Oh, 3 people are here. Hello, friends.
Oh,
Hello?
fast.
Where? Oh, you get to see that. We don't.
We don't get to look
I
at each
was
other.
like looking for it. Like, what? This is so odd.
just
I don't have buttons.
How is everyone doing on this wonderful evening?
To be honest, I am exhausted and bruised, but that's because I've been pole dancing for hours every day. It's fine.
Are you like in the best shape ever though?
Thank you. I do feel like it. I do feel it. Hi, Miriam. Hello, Yasmin. I love all of these people.
Yasmin, did you end up reading this book? Because I'm really curious about your thoughts. Just putting that out there. I don't know if you've read that, if you read it, but if you did.
Thank you.
I think that every time you post on your Insta story, I'm like, oh.
Thank you.
Kelsey, I told Logan this before you got here, but I was on TikTok and I found Logan's pole dancing TikTok on my For You page.
Yay! Follow my pole TikTok.
I didn't know it was him. And I was looking at it and I'm like, that looks like Logan. And then I'm like watching it and I was like, is that Logan? And then I literally, I clicked on the profile and I was like, it's Logan. And then I was like, I shouldn't follow his pole TikTok because what if this is very private? And then Logan was like, no, follow me. I want to be famous. And I'm like,
follow me. If it was private, I wouldn't put it on TikTok. But also, it is difficult though, because in the studio we're wearing masks, so I can totally see like I've met people in the studio and then met them in real life and been like and not recognize them the first time. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting time. But yeah, come join me.
Yasmin, I can't wait to hear what you think about this book. I don't know.
I need you specifically. I need your take, Yasmin.
Very every detail, every thought that went through your head. Also, I read this on the Kindle and I had so much fun taking notes on it and going back through them and taking notes for the live. I felt really organized.
That's cool.
I'm so glad you're here.
We're so
welcome. Sorry, I'm eating dinner. I'm running behind.
I
had just pulled it up. Logan, what's your pole dancing username?
It's just me and a pole, all one word. Hello.
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 Oh my god.
Hell yeah, Yasmin.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Was it? Actually, I'm double checking my rating, but yeah, I think I'm about the same, Yasmin.
I think I forgot to rate it on Goodreads, but it's 5 stars from me.
I did the full 5 stars for Sophie, but it's more of a 4.5.
Yay.
I think mine was also 4.55. Right on the cheater platter there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I was expecting going into this book, but it honestly ended up being so much better than I expected it to be.
Yes.
It was so good. It was a nice, just breath. Also, I read it directly between 2 very gruesome horror books, so it was a really nice breath of fresh air. And just be thank God.
This is the first book I ever read on a Kindle. It was Hugo's Kindle, but
ooh, that's fun.
I feel this when she's talking about all the attachment styles and just analyzing people, and I was like,
okay, can we jump into that though? Because oh no, this needs to be a movie immediately.
We need to start a production company. We have said this about a lot of the things we
literally.
Can we please? Can we please?
I'm doing okay. How is everyone else?
I'm doing good.
Okay, good. I'm
Doing
glad
good. We're doing good. We all looked so in pain when we said we were doing okay. It was the funny thing. All of us were like, I'm doing okay. Like I'm worried now.
The internet is a lie. Nothing is real.
Yeah. Also, like my Wi-Fi totally went out not that long ago. So like, if I broke out,
You're good.
just go on without me.
I ate dairy before this live and I'm lactose intolerant, so that's why I'm like, I'm doing okay.
Oh no. Oh no. You're living on the edge.
Do we want to do our giveaway winner announcement now?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So, like for Bisexual Awareness Week on our Instagram, we did a lot of fun things. And a part of that was a little giveaway, like just a little thing where we are giving away a copy of our November book, Invisible Life That You Do. And Emily made an amazing book sleeve for the book to go into.
It's the colors.
The fabric you found was amazing.
That is incredible.
So good.
It is so good.
So the way that we chose the winner is we put all of the names of the people who did all of the things to qualify themselves for the giveaway into a random number generator. And then I clicked it like a random number of times. Like Kelsey gave me a number and I was like, okay. And then I just went click, 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 click. And it was very stressful. But the name of the winner is Dawn D. Harrington. So I don't believe Dawn is on the stream currently. Hooray. DMing Dawn and letting them know that they won our giveaway. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who entered the giveaway and helped us out. We're over 200 followers now on Instagram. It's pretty fun. We had a really takeover. Yasmin, I will make you one. No worries. It's your turn, Daniel. But yeah, so huge thank you to everyone for being a part of that. We had a really fun time.
It was really fun. Thank you guys for actually like participating in the giveaway. like the first I almost said mass market. The first mass market thing that we've done as a channel. I don't know what you would call this, but I don't know.
It was like an event.
Yeah, an event. He has made an appearance.
Google has 3 of my book sleeves right now.
Oh my god.
Does he wear them as like socks?
He's got one on his head. Like a hat.
Okay, wait. You can put one on your head right now. I will know if you know.
And send us a picture of it so that we can put it. Like, we can screen share.
I'll make like my background. I'll get a little green screen.
Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you, and also thank you to everyone who participated in our Insta takeovers.
Yeah.
Those are still on our highlights, and they're so fun.
Those were very fun. Okay,
you.
Yasmin, you made my takeover. I'm just saying, because I woke up from a nap and there were like 12 questions from Yasmin, and I was like, oh, I have content again.
And Yasmin had all good questions, like
your questions.
100%. Oops. One is for her.
I need you to dump those out right now and put it on your head.
No.
Carefully set the Kindle down.
That's for November. That's for November.
Yeah, so we will announce our October book at the end of this stream, which I have already started, and I am loving it so far. But yeah. We're also really excited for Addie LaRue. Am I the only one of the 3 of us who haven't read it?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm so...
I'm excited for you to read it, though. I love Addie LaRue.
Literally.
Yasmin slept through my my whole takeover. But it's okay because I was living vicariously through you guys. I'll never know what it's like to get asked questions by Yasmin.
Everyone loved that one answer I gave about Logan getting arrested and and Sophie making the problem worse. And then I don't know.
So true. It's so true.
It was too accurate.
It is the dynamic. It's the friendship dynamic.
We will do it together. I can't wait. Yeah, don't stretch it, Hugo. They are delicate.
How big is your head? He's like a Funko Pop.
It's not.
Every time you join, it just gets bullied. I'm sorry.
These are like not very big. Like they don't.
Wait,
and
you put it on your head.
They don't stretch very far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Just find the name of the short story book again that I mentioned.
What short story book?
I don't know any short story book.
No, I think it was me, and I can't remember. It'll come to me. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started on Perfect on Paper?
Oh, we've been chatting for a hot second.
We have been. Mm-hmm. I don't have a physical copy of this. Hugo has it on his Kindle. Thank you.
I have it on my Kindle.
I have it in paper.
I wish I did.
Is it because it's perfect?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's really good.
The color of that book is my everything. So
it is beautiful. It's like this is a very beautiful cover art, I will say.
I love the coral and I love the thank you, Hugo.
Thank you guys.
So sweet.
Aww.
So why don't we talk about some non-spoilery thoughts?
Do we synopsis corner-ish?
Oh wait, yeah. Give us the synopsis, baby.
Give us a synopsis, baby.
Okay. So we follow. Okay, I'm totally, guys. I don't even own this book. I read this weeks ago. If I forget anything, I'm so sorry. Okay. So we follow Darcy, who is 17 years old, and she goes to a private school. She is bisexual, and she is in love with her best friend, Brooke. And she runs, there is an abandoned locker in this school, and her mother works there. So she is there every day after school. And so she kind of runs this advice sort of letter thing out of her locker. And so people for $10 write a letter asking for relationship advice, and with a money back guarantee, she will give them relationship advice through an anonymous email to help them through with their relationships. And this is kind of what she does as like her job in her free time. And it's pretty much set up that like, she comes from a pretty poor family. They go to this private school, and like, this is like really important to her. She's been doing it for years. And then one day a guy sneaks up on her after school when she's getting the letters and basically corners her and is like, I know you're running this locker, and I'm going to pay you a ton of money to help me win my ex-girlfriend back. And she's like, crap, no one is supposed to know that it's me running this locker. And he kind of blackmails her into doing this for him, but he's going to pay her a ton of money to do it. And so the story kind of follows them in an attempt to win his ex-girlfriend back for him, while she's kind of navigating this crush on her best friend, who is kind of starting a relationship with another woman at the school as well. Am I missing anything major?
No, you didn't even stutter. That was
Dang. This is why this is my corner.
I do want to say one thing is that it took me forever to realize where this story was like located.
And, California.
Yeah, and they were like, we're going to Disneyland. And I was like, they can just go to Disneyland? That's like a drive for me. And then I was like, no, there are people who live like drivable distance from Disneyland at any given moment, and they can just go there on the weekends. Like, that's bullshit. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Logan.
That'd be
Logan,
half an hour to 45 minutes.
My everything. That's my I am confused. Did I say something wrong?
This color.
Oh, the color. No, everything. You know.
Aww.
Um,
I miss our reveals. Yasmin jumps out of the corner of Kelsey's screen.
Yasmin, we'll plan something, okay? We'll plan something.
At this point, we need to get a GoFundMe going so that we can fly Yasmin here just for that.
So, anyone want to talk about some like initial opening thoughts about like things that they loved about this book? Or
I was reading this at the same time I was binge watching season 3 of Sex Education. And I was just getting like the similar vibes of like people giving anonymous advice for money and then that whole thing. So it was weird to do those like back to back. But that was my 2 cents.
I really enjoyed how not only almost every character in this book is queer in some way. But I really enjoyed how like it was just how seamlessly she wrote it into all the characters. Like it wasn't like, oh, this is your, you know, token bi person, this is your token gay person. Like they had like all kinds of it was there and it was a thing and it was a very big part of their life because they were in the Queer and Questioning Club, which is a great name for that club, but it's not like their entire everything. Like it was just really good, and I really enjoy that we're like able to write stories like this in YA that way now. Hello. Yes, very. Very much. I especially liked I think my favorite character would be Ainsley, the sister. I was in love with Ainsley so much, just like that entire dynamic of just the whole her whole existence was what I want and aspire to be, honestly. Yes.
I think I really liked that every character was super flawed and not in a little bit of a way, like in a very big way. Everyone was very different and unique. And speaking on like what Logan was saying about like how everyone was queer, I thought it was really great because like queer people usually seek out other queer people. Like there's very rarely a time where you're just gonna be like, okay, and then here's our token gay friend or something like that. It's almost always, you know. And, you know, we have multiple bisexuals in this book. We have multiple, you know, we have transgender individuals, non-binary individuals, as well as people who are gay and, you know, amongst other things. So I thought it was really cool because, like, you don't always get to see that in literature. Bye, JB. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
So I thought that was like really important, and a lot of Darcy's internal conflict and even external conflict. Like she was such a flawed character who learned from her mistakes, and obviously we'll talk about that later. But I think in YA especially, like it's so important to have main characters who are not perfect and who make mistakes and can learn from them, and then therefore when you're writing for a younger audience, they can experience and learn with the characters as well. So
another thing I really liked, I liked the way that Darcy like researched a lot of the psychological advice she was giving. Like a lot of like it was very there was a great discussion about like, you know, it's really not safe to give like therapy oriented advice to people when you're not licensed. However, I really she did a lot of research as a character, and then also like into like attachment styles and like just all kinds of really wonderful things. And the two like really things that highlighted that for me was, number one, she started by watching a YouTuber, and that is a specific genre of YouTube that I have watched hours of. It's like either psychologists or people who aren't psychologists but are like in therapy and have like read it, like talking about like, you know, just talking through stuff. And number two, I really enjoyed how researched the the psychological elements and the therapy elements in this book were, and I spent the whole time being like, oh my god, Sophie Gonzales did so much fucking research on this. She did so well. It's incredible. I'm just astounded by the effort that she put in. And after finishing the book, I looked at the description on the second book that we've read by Sophie Gonzales and found out that she is indeed a practicing psychologist.
Yeah.
So she knows what she's talking about. Got a degree in it. But yeah, I appreciated that a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I agree. The advice she gave was really good. Or at least, like, she was, like, it was just really good advice for the most part.
I feel like if there had been something like that, you know, in high school, there would be so much less drama around, like, relationships or whatever. Like, I just feel like high schoolers get so caught up in that stuff. It's like unhealthy.
I think if somebody had like talked about attachment styles to me in high school, I would have been a little bit less of a mess.
I wish psychology classes about stuff like that was like required.
Yeah.
To learn why people are the way that they are, or like why people, you know, respond. Because like attachment styles are important in friendships as well. Like talking about like, you know, going with Brooke and Darcy, even, you know, like their friendship relationship, you know. Attachment styles are important for that. And I wish that was something that we talked about like in high school, like when you're just trying to like freaking survive, you know. I completely agree with this. Yeah, like we talked about this briefly before going live, but like, you know, I gave Only Mostly Devastated 3 stars, mainly because it was hard for me to get through because the writing seemed very juvenile, like YA. But reading this one, it was still like she captured the adolescents' like thought patterns and the way that they think and speak so well, and it's still read young, but I didn't feel like I was being spoon-fed at all, and I was so invested in the story and everything. And like I think anyone like reading this at any age would totally be okay reading it.
I agree as well.
I keep almost spoiling the book, so I've had to be like,
I'm so ready to burst. Oh my god.
Is there anything else we want to say before we go into like spoilery stuff? It's a good book.
It's a good book. I guess on the topic of like relating to like high school adolescence, Sophie does like a great job of like just giving little winks. Like I'm mainly talking about how there's this big discussion about like in the Queer and Questioning Club, them talking about Chad and Ryan in High School Musical 2 definitely dating. Like
yes.
I am so invested in that.
And Sophie does such a good job bringing like this levity to very serious topics that I think is hard to do well, and I think she accomplishes it very easily in her writing.
I think that she did. That's something that I don't know, I personally really liked in both books that we've read from her so far, is just her ability to like take very serious topics and write it from the point of view of somebody that is still young and experiencing this potentially for the first time, and still has like that like kind of like, I don't want to say twinkle in their eye. I'm so old. Oh god. But I mean like still is like they have hope, and they're still hopeful in a way that only teenagers can be hopeful, you know, through these just fucking awful things. And I like that a lot. I really appreciate it.
It's not out yet, but when her book, if this comes out in December, she does tackle like more serious subjects through the lens of the young, and she just keeps getting better and better.
Only up from there. Only up.
I love it.
The next step.
Well, then I guess move to our
spoilers.
Okay, Kelsey's bursting, so go ahead.
Oh, are we talking about the biphobia now in terms of like how the bi representation was?
So yeah, I mean, like we can talk like one of the huge themes of the whole book, right, is biphobia.
Was biphobia. What the biggest thing that stood out to me at first was like, because I knew that this book would address biphobia, and this is actually like the first book we've read that's addressed biphobia.
Other than that one scene in Absolutely Remarkable Thing.
Oh, you're right. That one scene. I remember that. Yes.
I forgot about that.
I know. That was a pleasant memory just then. Good job, Hank. That was a great scene. But like right off the bat, like 6 pages in, Aunt Ainsley or whatever said something a little biphobic, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna tackle like biphobia from even members of the LGBTQ community.
And
Brooke, and that the Brooke one was a big one. That was a pretty like just like, oh, you're in a het relationship, and she's like, no.
Yes, it did.
For real.
But that was like a big theme for me.
Yeah, and internalized biphobia too, because we had it coming from both ways. We had externally from Ainsley and Brooke, but then also Darcy struggling with the fact that she was starting to have feelings for Boehm, and knowing that she was like, if I'm in a straight presenting relationship, because Boehm is openly heterosexual and everything, like so and Darcy struggling with the fact where she's like, if I'm with this guy who is hetero, like, and I'm going to be in a straight presenting relationship, am I still even queer? Like, do I even belong in this club anymore, because I'm not facing the same sort of, you know, rejection from society, you know? And I teared up at the scene where they were like, you are queer, and they all looked at her and they were like, listen, like, you identify this way, you are this way, and it doesn't matter who you're dating, you know? So, and because like there's a lot of that hate coming from the LGBT community of itself.
Oh yeah, it's a huge thing. No matter what, like it's really hard not to be a bi person on the internet and either get, you know, if you're a guy who or a male presenting person, it's a stop on the train to gay town, and if you're a female presenting person, you're just, you know, experimenting, but eventually going back. Because I don't know, because society is misogynist and assumes that no matter what, we will all everyone eventually goes back to liking men, which is stupid.
What you got, Yasmin?
Drop it.
Yeah, that scene really, I genuinely teared up at that, and like to see Brooke kind of, you know, who I openly disliked 90% of the book.
Oh, I hated Brooke. Can't stand her.
To have her kind of swallow her pride and be like, shit, that was me who said that like openly biphobic thing. Yikes, sorry. You know, was really, I don't want to say refreshing, but, you know, it's good to address that a lot of this is coming from the inner community itself, right? Like,
and her support network was all members of the community, and so like that fear probably like just really, you could see it really set in with her, because like if she didn't do that, like my brain is not processing.
Have we experienced it?
Have we ever not felt gay enough for being in the Oh yeah, definitely.
So this book hit home.
I mean, I can't speak for Kelsey, but like as someone who's never been in a relationship with another woman, like it's always been like, I know that this is how I am, or I feel a certain way. I know that I'm, you know, queer in this way or that way. But like, I know that I don't need validation from elsewhere, but I know that from the outside looking in, like people see me a certain way, and I have to openly say, no, I'm actually not great or whatever, for them to understand, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, or just, it's mainly like reading comments on things, you know, that you really, that you, I don't know if it's ever been directed at me particularly, especially because like my friends, like obviously, you know, won't judge me, but like reading things on the internet and hearing those things, I think is what hurts more. I don't know.
One of the this is like totally kind of like on the line of like comments. Like I have that like, oh, Barbie villain being a bisexual icon video on my channel, and I just get so many comments just being like, bisexual's too straight for him. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that a lot with I both in comments, and then I used to get it a lot. I just am in almost year 2 of a relationship with a man, so it doesn't happen to me right now. But when I was in a relationship with a woman, I actually a lot of times people were like, "Are you just why are you going back in the closet?" That happens a lot. From both gay people and straight people. The one on I've had a very common thread of people coming onto my comments and saying that male characters aren't bi when they are bi on the page. They're just in a relationship with a man in the book. They're like, no, they're gay. They're not bi. They don't count. I'm like, they are. You read the fucking dialogue, guys. Read it on paper. Can quote it right here. Sorry.
It's the whole like Evelyn Hugo thing, right? Where she's like, don't go to Max. She's like, don't call me a lesbian because it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Or, like, don't call me straight because it makes you feel better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yikes.
So yeah, it happens. Yeah, it happens.
Sorry, it happens. That's why the club is here.
Sorry, guys. I literally went, oop, I was still talking. And like the entire thing went like,
oh, sorry.
Okay, sorry everyone.
No, you're good. Let's not apologize for getting deep.
No, I know like my Wi-Fi like went out and I felt bad because I was like blah, 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 and then I probably just like cut off. It's all good. I was just saying like don't call me straight because it makes you more comfortable or whatever, like, and even if you're in a straight presenting relationship, like also, and then like you hear about like people at Pride who are like, bi people aren't welcome if you're in a hetero presenting relationship, stuff like that. And it's like, first of all, hetero presenting doesn't mean that they're both cis, and that also doesn't mean, like it's I just wish everyone was just more like, I understand like where like the hurt comes from and like being afraid of having straight presenting couples there and everything, but also it's like, come on, like,
yeah, exactly,
not that deep.
Like, it's Pride.
Exactly. So
we're very grateful for this club. We get to
me too.
So yeah, I loved the way Sophie tackled all of those issues in the book.
Did you guys read the excerpt that she did, like the little like acknowledgements or thing at the back, where she said she was originally writing like a different book, but after the release of Only Mostly Devastated, she just got a bunch of like biphobic comments about how she had a bisexual character in the book end up with a person of the opposite gender, and she just got so many of those comments that she was like, okay, we're writing a book addressing these.
I
love Sophie.
It's very, I mean, I personally like have just decided I'm never just gonna like come out, like I just am who I am, and like people don't come out as straight, so I'm not gonna come out as anything else. I'm just, but yeah, it is kind of like that where you have to like keep reminding people. Like,
I tattooed it on my body.
Yeah.
He just has to lift up his shirt.
Literally, it was for me. It wasn't for anybody else. But then I didn't realize how like just like fuck you to the world and biphobia it was in my head until I took a trip and entered into I know. Oh my God. I know. Okay, I could talk about that book forever, just so you know. Sorry, getting back on here, but I didn't realize just how much of a like thing that was like until I went back to an environment where like being queer isn't nearly as like accepted as it is in LA, because I'm very lucky in that here it doesn't, it's a lot. Here's a very accepting place. And I work with a lot of queer people, so it's like, it's good. And I had to like explain what my tattoo is to straight people. And it was the weirdest. It was such a weird, like, oh yeah. Like I wasn't just because I was swimming and they're like, what's the tattoo? And then I was like, oh, okay. This is very rooted in a lot. Oh no. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
Sorry.
But this book is amazing. It does
amazing.
I'm really glad that it was and like very
What is the tattoo? I have we will probably get banned because it's on my chest and we probably shouldn't show nipples on your channel. But I have the upside down triangle that is the homosexual and bisexual men wore in the concentration camps in the Holocaust, fun fact. And I have that, but I wanted to be different than everyone else that I know that just has the triangle. So I got watercolors of the bi flag on it. And then I have a little sprig of lavender that goes between it. Because I can't remember if it's the 1940s or the 1980s for some reason, but in one of those times, gay and bi men were called lavender boys as a slur, but I think it sounds badass. So,
you have pictures on your Insta, right? Of you.
Yeah, there's pictures on my Instagram.
Yeah. If you find Logan's Instagram, he's got lots of shirtless pics there, apparently.
Or his pole dancing account.
Right. More on my TikTok, more on my pole TikTok, because I'm very, very close to nude on my pole TikTok. So just because you have to have skin to stick to the pole. The skin holds you up.
Oh my goodness.
No, yeah, it's literally the physics of how you hold it up is the friction of your skin against the metal. Anyway.
Wow.
Keep going.
We all learn new things on my channel.
Back to bisexuality.
Gosh, what else do I want to talk about?
I almost turned this into like a pole dancing Q&A.
Gosh.
That's a different
video. The cute little like relationship moments, like the little Disneyland date. I don't know. I like Disney.
Real cute.
It was so cute.
Oh, can we talk about Brooke and that whole thing?
Yeah.
Jasmine is with me.
We're together.
So Brooke is the worst friend ever. But you know what? It was so high school. It was so high school.
It was very high school, very like Mean Girls era high school. But I was also offended because she was interfering with the business workings of another person's finances. I was like how dare you?
No remorse.
Like, for real though, I knew people like this in high school. And that's the worst part. And like it literally brought me back for a hot second because I was like, okay, whoa.
It was a very high school book in like the best way. Like if you just want to relive some of that, get on in.
Like so basically for those who haven't read the book, Darcy's running this whole thing, and we find out that the girl that Brooke is looking at dating is the class president, and we find out that Brooke and this other girl, Ray. They both wrote to Darcy at different times about each other, and Darcy figured it out and gave them both bad advice at first, and then they got together, and she found out that Ray rigged the class election to win against Brooke, who is now her girlfriend. And she was like, I don't know if I should tell her.
No, but it was because Darcy had done it to Brooke before, where Brooke had a crush on this one girl.
That's right.
And Darcy gave Brooke bad advice, and Brooke was really upset about it. And Darcy was like torn up. She was like, oh my God, I'm never using my power for evil again. So when Ray wrote in and Darcy gave love advice, and then Brooke wrote in, she's like, wait, oh no. And then she's like, I'm not going to mess this up. But then she did learn about the rigging.
And then she's like, crap, I gotta, like, someone has to tell Brooke. So Brooke and Ray are, like, being all cutesy and, like, ignoring Darcy, being really shitty friends, not gonna lie. Like,
being fucking awful.
Excluding Darcy from everything.
Like, because they hated Ray. Like Brooke and Darcy both were like, screw Ray, she's such a bitch, she's so mean. And then Brooke and Ray start dating and they start ignoring Darcy and like you guys said, like excluding her. And then Darcy was like, you know what, fine. And then she tells Brooke what Ray did behind Ray's back, which was rough to watch. Like it was really rough to watch Darcy like unravel her whole social life, like thread by thread. I was like, girl, no, you gotta come clean. Yeah, and then basically it all came out about everything.
But Darcy confessed. Darcy told Brooke because Darcy felt so bad. Yeah. Darcy told Brooke, she's like, "Hey, this is how I knew," and she's like, "Oh my God, you were the one who gave me the bad advice."
Yeah, and then things just went downhill from there, and it was hashtag rough to watch.
Brooke told Ray that like Darcy ran the locker, and then Ray told fucking everyone. Yeah, it turned into the whole thing,
and then Darcy's life was ruined.
And it was when Darcy was like, "Oh my God, you told," and Brooke was like, "She had a right to know. She was gonna tell people." Like
it's like that's your best friend. That's your best friend.
And not only that, you know that she's relying on it for money. You literally you don't screw with someone's finances. You don't. I know that's such a like thing, but literally, especially when you know that your friend uses this as a means to having a life outside the bare minimum, you don't do that because of your emotions. Like that's so.
But it was also so high school.
Yeah, it was. And it was hashtag rough to watch. And then I really, but so like
I agree.
I
went back and forth on hating Darcy or Brooke. It was a swap.
Well, I didn't like either of them for a bit.
I was gonna say, like, just going back to the fact that these characters, every single one of them was so flawed in such a big way. Like, there wasn't a single person that I was like, oh, this person's perfect, except maybe Ainsley, because I loved her.
Ainsley,
but she's a sad character, so that doesn't count. She's just hilarious, and I love her. But like, even like Boam, right? Our love interest, like at the beginning was a stubborn asshole, rich, got everything you wanted, but then like you learn more about him, and
he just needs to be loved.
He's not having a panic attack.
You know, that is a good point too. I don't know. I just the whole thing, but that is so high school girl friendship is so surface level, right? And everything. Like I remember having friends in middle school, a friend, like my best friend in middle school, and then one day she just like called me a whore for no reason. And then like we never spoke again.
That's horrible, but it's so funny when you put it like that.
13, and I was like, what does that even mean?
Oh, same, Yasmin. Same. I was like,
oh, that was frustrating.
Because also, like, I don't know. It just made me so mad that I was like, me too.
I was 13. Okay, I didn't even know what that word meant.
You're like doing your little homework assignments. Whore. What?
Like, no, this girl caught me in the hallway. I was like, listen, what's your problem? Anyway, she has a kid now, but it's fine.
Yeah, wow. But like when like the parade of people were like trying to get the letters out of the hallway, that gave me anxiety, because also like the whole point of this is being anonymous, so why would you want to read other people's to try to get to yours? Secondly, I hated that the principal blamed it all on her and was like, you let the letters leak apparently, and I was like, no, she didn't. She was bombarded by a mass of human beings. Like
they were the people who broke the locker too.
Right, like she didn't even do anything. I mean, she did a lot, but like she didn't do that part.
She did a lot. She just didn't do the actual vandalism that got her expelled. Well, suspended, not expelled, but still.
Yeah. Also, good guy Boam going in there and being like, look, it wasn't her fault, dude.
Defending her honor.
I love Boam. And the way that Finn. Let me check the
Finn,
names of the book.
Oh,
Yeah, Finn.
we did not get enough Finn.
Oh, I love the way that those three, Finn, Boehm, and Darcy, like take care of each other, because there is like a party aspect of this group. Like there's a, the like late high school, early college, like party dynamic. And they are so good about watching out for each other. They take care of each other. They like are all informed about like alcohol poisoning and things like that. And like, it was if you're gonna do illegal stuff while you're young, that's the people to do it with. Like, I trusted that, and I just love that.
It was good that they looked out for each other. Like that whole thing was really.
And the scene where she takes care of him after the party, and he's like, I wrote down with 5 crying faces. Darcy says, why did Darcy, Boehm's super drunk, and he goes, Darcy, why did you come for me? After they were like after they'd like gotten in like, they stopped talking for a while and there was like friendship problems or whatever. And she just goes, because you needed me. And I was like, even when they're fighting, friends take care of each other.
He deserved that after his whole thing with his ex.
Yeah, for real. He put her through so much for like nothing.
Oh, yeah. And then Brooke was so offended. I didn't listen to the audiobook, so I don't know.
I don't do well with audiobooks because I'm bad at paying attention to things that aren't written down in front of me, so I don't pick up any details there.
Back to him being a better friend than Brooke. Like, he was, and Brooke was like so kind of like, since when did you have his number? And I'm like, since when did you care about Darcy? Like, you've been with Ray for like months.
I think.
Okay. Oh, good.
Good to know. The difference between Brooke and Boehm for me is that Boehm was good at having a friendship relationship advice that like dynamic where they were both, it was a good give and take, whereas Brooke, I felt like, was only around Darcy when she needed her, even at the end of the book, even after everything, like, there's some sort of a resolution kind of that I won't spoil, except we should spoil it. I love that. Yeah, we should spoil it. Darcy and Boehm put together this entire dinner to try and get on Darcy's birthday to try and get Brooke and Ray back together, but like as like an apology. And even then, like Ray, by then I was like, okay, I like Ray. Like Ray sounds like somebody I can chill with, I feel pretty cool about this person. I still was mad at Brooke because even throughout that whole thing, it was what Brooke needed. It was what Brooke wanted, and it was on Brooke's terms. And none of it had to do anything with Darcy.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget that we're seeing the whole book through Darcy's perspective, and Darcy has a crush on Brooke. And so like, we're gonna, like, even though like we see Brooke as this like vile human being, like everything through Darcy's eyes is kind of rose tinted. Like, she doesn't see Brooke as manipulative or, rude or anything, because like she wants to like Brooke because she thinks she's in love with her. Oh crap. So glad between Brooke and Darcy. Yeah, me too.
Same.
I thought that would have been so messy.
Bad.
I thought it was gonna happen too. Like,
can we talk about how Darcy wanted to name her twins Austin and Allie?
I know.
That was unforgivable.
Oh my
God, these characters are flawed.
I agree, but I think again, like I think that's Sophie's way of like us learning with Darcy that Boehm is a good guy, right? And like we're not supposed to like him at first, because he was kind of an asshole, into this whole like, defending her honor kind of a guy.
Great question.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's up to anybody's guess.
Honestly,
like I don't know. I think she might have known about Darcy's feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Ugh, that's sad. But the highlight of this book and probably my reading year would be Ainsley's performance as the ghost of relationships past, present, and future in the dinner, the production that was this makeup dinner. Y'all go at it because I've been talking enough.
No, I feel like I've been talking too much.
I think we've all.
I don't know it. We've been talking.
So basically, it's a recorded video, I think.
Yeah.
and they play it during the dinner. Sorry, I know I'm like lagging right now. My internet is
not for us.
You're actually not for us.
Thank God. But they play it during this big dinner between Ray and Brooke, and it's Ainsley performing all the parts. I will be playing all the parts of and it's Ainsley dressed up as different ghosts of relationships past, present, and future, a la Christmas Carol. And basically saying, although my favorite part was Ghost of Christmas Future was like, or no, not Ghost of Christmas Future, Ghost of Relationship Future was like, if you don't make up, you guys are gonna die alone and not have anyone to cry at your funeral. And Darcy was like, I told her not to keep that in. And Mo was like, it's great.
That was the moment I fell in love with Ainsley, because there was something she did where I was like, I love you, but let's like not do it. But oh my God. That one was like, she won me over.
I could see, the thing is, Kelsey, I could see you making a video like that on your channel. I could see that happening. I'm not kidding you.
The Ghost of Preminger, past, present, and future.
Yeah. My grand return to BookTube.
Is this your one case subscribers video? Is this?
That'll be my 13th reason, but also please.
Yeah.
I'll do it all with like the Chick Hicks mustache. Just go to town.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I also liked how though that like because the way that they like got the video like fixed the relationships was, it was kind of like a 20 questions, but a very emotionally intelligent 20 questions. I was like, where was this when I was younger? Like, come on now.
Logan, it's a real questionnaire.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's a real psychologist questionnaire, and it's supposed to be if you answer all of those questions truthfully on the first date, like you have like a way higher chance of falling in love with that person.
Oh, no, I know that, but I just enjoyed the way that she like played it off as like, no,
I liked how Darcy and like Rome were like doing it together. Like they were playing along.
It was
so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot I loved about this book. I mean, I know we don't have like a million hours left. I could talk about this book forever, but like, you know, family dynamics in this book was so well done. Like the different families and how those like made characters react to relationships differently, like Boehm and his family, and Darcy and her family. I don't know if you guys have any thought on that.
I liked the different representations of, well, I liked the way that they use the family dynamics to talk about how sometimes it is better for parents to get divorced rather than stay together.
And it also, it does, and it's the fact that you get to see both angles. Like with Darcy, her parents split up like while she was like still like a minor going through it. And then with Boehm, you get to see a household where these parents need to get divorced. And like sometimes that can be harder to deal with because you're in that environment constantly.
You're watching your parents like self-destruct.
Yeah, but it shows like the difficulties of both of those households. Definitely. And I really appreciated that. And also like the difference between mom weeks and dad weeks, that hits close to home and it's really funny. It's like, oh crap, I left it at dad's. See you next week.
Yeah.
I feel oy vey. Oy. I also liked I don't know why, but I hated but also enjoyed the way that it was fleshed out that both of Boehm's parents were trying to involve him in their different affairs and shit.
Yeah,
it was really toxic, but it happens a lot, I feel like. I don't know.
Or like they were trying to be like unsneakily sneaky about it. She's like, I have a friend coming over, and he's like, okay, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, sort of thing. And it's like embarrassing for him.
Right? I had to ask Darcy to leave. Also, Darcy taking that so seriously, and then she realized,
she tried so hard. Right? She's like, I came prepared. I knew what I was doing, and then you just kick me out, like, and then like we hear the whole story, and it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah, it was. Honestly, it was hard to watch. Like,
it was very hard to watch.
Yeah. Any other like parting thoughts? Was there anything we hated about the book? I didn't really have a part that I super duper hated or anything.
No, because any part that I would have like had a problem with was like necessary to the book, and it helped move the story along. And I was like, okay, I don't want to deal with it, but like it's a good part of the story, and I'm like, it needs to happen. I don't think. Oh, I have in my notes that how the club talked about cartoon character crushes like awakening something, and that hit close to home.
Oh, and High School Musical 2.
High School Musical 2, they had some great conversations.
Oh, yes.
Some like one-liners in that book were like, mwah.
Oh, beautiful.
They were. I would reread this book just for the High School Musical conversation.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. That's my ending thought. Chad and Ryan are dating.
This was, I mean, it was a great book. Like, I think this book deserves way more recognition than I've seen it get, like, anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a list. A list. It was like every cartoon character I ever had a crush on as a kid. It's long.
Kovu from The Lion King 2.
Hashtag Kovu Complex. Yes. Thank you. All of my exes are Kovu in human form. It's bad spiritually.
Whoa.
Anyway, like personality-wise, they all have that it's not a phase mom vibe, you know?
No, my biggest cartoon crush was Robin from the Teen Titans.
Teen Titans?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Mine was Starfire.
Oh,
true.
I hated Starfire. I love her now.
Yes.
Oh, Sinbad.
Yes.
No, but I hated Starfire for the longest time because I was like, she's trying to get between me and Robin. Like, this is not okay.
It's like, the internalized misogyny for me.
I know it is fixed. I love Starfire to death now. But at the time, 7-year-old me was ready to fight.
Mm-hmm. That's like me with the color pink. I was like, I have some internalized misogyny to get over.
I get that. I understand that.
Well, okay, this book was like 4.5 out of 5 stars.
What are we reading next?
Crap. Go ahead. What, Kelsey?
No, what are we reading, Emily? Because you're currently
reading it. Go ahead, Kelsey. What are you thinking?
Oh no, I just forgot that we hadn't said what we're reading in October. I forgot we had to do that.
Oh wait, we already did this. Oh, okay, hold on. Does anyone else have the book, or is it just me?
It is just
I don't have it yet.
Okay, so for our October book, we will be reading The Rise of Kyoshi, which is very different than everything else we've read up until this point, and I'm so excited about it.
Speaking of cartoon crushes, Korra.
Yes.
Asami.
Oh, Asami.
Also Prince Zuko. I know that's bad. But, oh my god. Oh my god. I met the actor that voices him.
Wait, what?
I met the actor that voiced Prince Zuko
you met
a week ago on the streets.
On the streets.
So
just on the street.
Listen, this is amazing. He's awesome. Like he seems like the coolest dude. Dante.
Oh no, Dante is so cool. Dante seemed in the like 5 minutes maybe of interaction that I had, one of the coolest interactions I've ever had in my life.
Sweet. I mean, he's got one of the most recognizable voices of a generation. So I bet he gets asked like people recognize him all the time.
Oh, totally. My bad.
At least all of his characters are just his real voice, so it's not like he has to like put on a voice to be like.
Did you hear the thing where he went to Starbucks and he'd be like, the person like, hey, can I take your order? And he'd speak and they go, Zuko.
Amazing. Me too, Yasmin. Me too. But also because I think I kinned Katara. I wanted it to be me.
Same. I wanted to be a waterbender so bad as a kid. That was like the thing. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Even
so
now,
we're reading Rise of Kyoshi. Listen, so if you haven't watched Avatar: The Last Airbender or Korra, I super duper highly recommend it. It's a great series. But Kyoshi is a character, I think, 400 years before?
Way before the events of the TV show. So you don't have to have had to watch the TV show.
Right. It helps with a lot of context, and there's a lot of Easter eggs in here and like references to the series, but you should be able to get through this book and kind of understand what's going on if you do like the bare minimum research of like what the premise of the show is. But I'm about 50 pages into it so far, and it's so good. Like, if you haven't bought it yet, please, you should join us this month. This is going to be super fun. And Kyoshi is canonically bisexual in the series, and then obviously this is a book of her life. The second one is coming out soon, I think. 2 generations before Aang, who is the protagonist of the original series. So this should be super duper interesting. It's already super cool, and it's all canon within the lore of Avatar.
I'm so excited. So
definitely check it out. I'm literally so pumped for this book. But it's not super short. I mean, it's about 450 pages. So if you are a slow reader, get your copy soon and join us. It's going to be so fun. And November, as you guys know, is Addie LaRue. So you have time to get that as well. So yeah, please join us. Oh, okay. Hugo's out here owning me, I guess.
Oh, good point. Double feature. Who's ready to read 100 or 1,000 pages for this live stream? Let's do it.
I already read 600 for the Stephen King, so might as well.
The way that I jump in that chat once a month and say I'm gonna read it and then don't, it's so
I need a break from King.
I know.
Need a break for real. My sister bought the first comic in the search for Zuko's mom, and I'm super pumped to read that.
Okay.
Also, I want to answer the Halloween question. We don't have a pick for Halloween. We're just reading Kyoshi this month. But if you need like a good like bisexual book that you want to read for Halloween, you should read This Is Not a Horror Movie. I forget who the author is, but I had so much fun with that book, and it's like just so campy.
Can I also do that?
Throw a wreck in.
I have a wreck.
Oh my god, guys, we're wrecking.
We're wrecking. Look at us. I am 50 pages into this, and this is going to be.
You've been meaning to read that. Sorry.
I've been trying so hard. This is some of the best like bi rep that I've ever read. Multiple bi characters. It's a vampire epidemic. Like kind of young adult, but very like that. But it's very like thrillery, horror-y, and like just such good. It's such good bi rep. It also does a good job of like pointing out toxic, like people. Like there are characters that use bisexual stereotypes to be toxic, and characters that call them out on it. Like it's so good.
Oh, maybe see that in the future, guys.
Yeah, wow. Yes. I will be reading. So mine, I had to pre-order it. It's not getting to my house for like another 10 days. But a lot of people have been talking about it. Payback is a Witch, which is, I believe, bi rep, and it's like a Halloween-esque witch kind of story. I pre-ordered it, and it will be arriving, I think, on the 18th for me. So I'm hoping to read it by Halloween, if it's short enough and if I have the time to devote to it. But I believe. No.
Huh.
Is
this it?
No. Here, let me look it up.
There's only 3 on Goodreads.
Oh,
hold on. Here you go. It looks like
a horror movie, Kelsey. This is the question.
Stop asking me that, Daniel.
It's by Lana Harper.
Oh, I forgot to do the apostrophe S because I don't know grammar.
Payback's a Witch. I believe it has bi rep, but I hear that it's contemporary about a small town in Illinois vying to win a spellcasting tournament. And I don't know, there's apparently a lot going on, so I'm very excited to read it. I don't always have the money to pre-order like new books or anything, but I really wanted to with this one. Yes, please write it all down and let us know what you think.
Yeah, I'm excited to read Kyoshi and all these other books.
I'm so excited to read Kyoshi.
And for the first time, Hugo will be joining us in the book club for read. He's been to every stream, but he finally will have read the material. I cannot wait for his thoughts.
Wait, didn't he read the last one?
No, he read My Lady's Choosing. It was his favorite book of all time.
I forgot about that.
I just remember that being the biggest jump scare ever was Hugo going, the one time I decided to read with you guys, and my heart dropped so hard. Nobody will ever give me that fear again.
Nothing. That should have been my favorite by book club moment. I think I knew he was gonna do that too. He told me he was gonna say that.
Oh, it scared me so bad. Channeling that fear for spooky season.
Yeah, for real.
I do not, but I shall do it.
No,
watch it.
Haven't read it, but I will.
Well, I want to say thank you to everyone for joining. Please join us for Kyoshi in this month. And thank you all. I hope you're all doing well. Happy spooky season. And I hope to see you next stream.
Happy spooky season.
Spooky season. Bye, everyone.
And happy Bisexual Awareness Month, too.